Hello class 7th, I am Ashok, your English teacher, present here with part 2 video of the chapter Golu Grows a Nose. In the previous part, we read about baby elephant Golu, who was full of questions and used to ask these questions from birds and animals in his surroundings. We also read about his decision to visit the Limpopo River to find out a crocodile and his eating habits. Today I will discuss the next part of the text. So let's begin with outlines of the story. Golu meets the crocodile face to face. He gets the python's help when he needs it most. Golu grows a long and useful nose. So these are the things which are going to happen in the story in the next part. Now we will discuss the text in detail. Golu moved on eating sugar canes, bananas and melons. After a few days, he reached the very edge means the bank of the great grassy Limpopo river. On the bank of the river, he saw a log of wood. So Golu moved on eating sugar canes, bananas and melons which he had kept with him. After some days, he reached at his destination, that was the very edge of the great grassy river. He saw there something like a log of wood. It was really the crocodile who winked at him. Winked means saw at him. Excuse me, said Golu, have you ever seen a crocodile? So actually the thing which was looked like a log of wood was not a log of wood. It was the crocodile who stared or saw at Golu. After close observation, Golu asked from the crocodile, or the creature he had seen there looked like a log of wood, that had he ever seen a crocodile. So this was the question he asked from the crocodile. The crocodile winked again and lifted half his tail out of mud. Come here, little one, said the crocodile. Why do you ask such questions? So the crocodile again winked his eyes or saw Golu, then lifted his tail out of the mud and said him to come close, and asked that why did he ask such questions. I want to know, come close little one, for I am the crocodile. And he shed crocodile tears to show it was quite true. Golu tried to answer, but Crocodile interrupted him and said him to come close, and revealed that he was the crocodile himself. He then shed tears to trap Golu and convince him that he was the innocent crocodile. Golu was afraid, but he sat down on the bank and said, you are the very person I was looking for. Please tell me what you have for dinner. So Golu was frightened, but still he sat down there on the bank and said that crocodile was the very person he was looking for, and asked about what did he have for dinner. I think, said the crocodile to the Golu put his head down close to the crocodile's. One more line has been. Come here, little one, and I will whisper the answer to you, said the crocodile. Crocodile said to come close, and he wanted to whisper answer him in his ears. Golu put his head down close to the crocodile's snout, and the crocodile caught him by the nose. Golu put his head down little close to the crocodile's mouth and nose, and then at the very moment crocodile caught him by the nose. I think, said the crocodile, today a baby elephant will be my dinner. So crocodile then said that a baby elephant would be his dinner that day. Let me go, you are hurting me, Mr. Crocodile, screamed Golu. So Golu was crying and saying, and urging the crocodile to let him free and not to hurt. The python, who had been quietly following Golu, came to the bank and said, "If you do not pull as hard as you can, the crocodile will drag you into the stream." So the python Golu met in the way had been following Golu and now reached at the bank. He told Golu to pull hard as could he to free himself from the clutches of crocodile. Otherwise, crocodile would drag him into the stream, and after that, it will become impossible to get free from the clutches of the crocodile. Golu sat back on his little haunches and pulled and pulled. The crocodile slipped into the water, making it all creamy with great sweeps of his tail, and he also pulled and pulled. Golu then sat on his back part of the body and tried to pull hard. On the other hand, crocodile slipped into the water and made it creamy with side to side sweeps of his tail and tried to pull hard also. Then the python coiled himself round Golu's stomach and said, "Let's pull harder." Golu dug in all his four legs in the mud and pulled. The nose kept on stretching. At each pull, the nose grew longer and longer, and it hurt Golu. The nose was now 5 feet long, but it was free at last. Then the python came to help Golu. He coiled himself around Golu's stomach and said him to pull hard. Golu dug all his 4 feet in the mud and tried to pull very hard. In this pulling process, Golu's nose kept on stretching, and at every pull it grew longer and longer, and it hurt Golu also. Nose became 5 feet long in this process, but ultimately it became free from the hold of crocodile. Golu sat down with his nose wrapped up in a big banana leaf and hung it in the great grassy Limpopo River to cool. After becoming free, Golu sat there on the bank and wrapped his long nose in a big banana leaf and then let it there in the water of river to cool it down. Golu sat there for 2 days waiting for the nose to cool and to shrink. It grew cool, but it didn't shrink. So Golu sat there on the bank for 2 days waiting for the nose to become cool and shrink. It became cool, but didn't shrink to its actual size. At the end of the second day, a fly came and stung Golu on the shoulder. Golu lifted his long nose and with it hit the fly dead. So at the end of the second day, a fly stung on his shoulder. Golu lifted his nose, that is trunk now, and hit the fly over there and killed it. Advantage number 1, hissed the python. "You could not have done it with a small nose. Try and eat a little now." Then python announced that this was the advantage number 1 of long nose. With a small nose, Golu could not do so. Then he asked Golu to eat something. Golu put out his trunk and plucked a large bundle of grass. He dusted it against his 4 legs and stuffed it into his mouth. Then Golu stretched out his trunk and plucked a large bundle of grass and hid it on his front legs to dust it and then stuffed into his mouth. Advantage number 2, hissed the python. "You could not have done it with a small nose. Don't you think the sun is too hot now?" This was advantage number 2 of a long trunk, announced the python. Then he reminded Golu about the hot sun also. Golu scooped up some mud from the bank and slapped it on his head. So Golu lifted up some mud inside the trunk from the bank of the river and hit the trunk on his head to scatter the mud on his body. Advantage number 3, hissed the python. You couldn't have done it with a small nose. So according to Python, this was advantage number 3 of the long trunk. It was not possible with a small nose. Thank you, Mr. Python, said Golu gratefully. I will remember all this and now I will go back to my family. So Golu thanked Python for making him aware of the advantages of the long trunk and assured Python that he would remember these benefits of his trunk. And then he said goodbye to the python as he wanted to go to his family back. So this particular chapter is written by Rudyard Kipling, and now as homework you will complete the summary of this chapter, and you have to complete the textual questions as per your understanding of the text. That's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.